It does look pretty yellow
Kind
though.
of dark, yeah. Tastes like cotton candy.
What?
Kind of.
What y'all think of them flowers? I think I got Stepler beat. He's got a half section. There's almost a full section here. 600 acres. So these hives have been here, I'm thinking between 10 and 14 days already. So some of these flowers are getting done. This one here, you can kind of start scraping away the florets. Under there's a bunch of sunflower seeds. So the grower planted, I think, from that side over there, which is the west, and worked his way east. So the flowers on that side are pretty much done. And then as you move this way, there's more and more work for the bees to do. And then there's some strips in the middle where they had some planting issues and had to replant later. And those strips haven't even bloomed yet. So we should have an extended bloom, which will be beneficial to us and the bees. And they are awfully busy today. Light winds, excellent foraging conditions. Figured we'd go into one or two and see what's happening in there. So to give y'all a little insight into what the setup is here, this whole yard is my Carniolan bees that I raised this spring. They started out in those Jester Easy Nukes, and these are the ones that were in my video about transferring nukes into full-size equipment. And this bottom box is going to be the brood box where the queen's going to be, and right above that I have a queen excluder, and everything above that is going to be honey supers. This one here is a box full of 9 frames, empty comb, or it was when I put it on. Hopefully it's not still that way. And this box is just kind of in case they fill this one full before the flowers are done. This is a box of foundation. It is going to have a feeder on one side, but there hadn't been any feed in it. What I'm using it for is to take up space. There's going to be 8 frames in there. So my thinking was if the bees start to draw out all those combs, I can take the feeder out and space this out as an 8-frame super and make it a whole lot easier to uncap when it comes to extraction. So let's get in here and see if anything's happening. There's a tiny bit of comb up in here. But these drawn combs are what I'm interested in. Let's dig in the middle here. There's lots of bees working in here. So there's probably going to be some nectar stored. This one's got some good weight to it. Can y'all see that glistening? That's going to be full of sunflower honey. Same with that side. Give it a shake. Y'all can see it on the top bars there. It's a very yellow nectar. Very yellow. Got a little bit on this side, not as much. Same story there. Decent amount of weight. Now let's see what the brood nest is looking like. There's the population. Looking good. Storing honey over here. Working on building that out. Look at all that sunflower pollen. There's some brood surrounded by more sunflower pollen. There's some young brood all the way out to here. It's all right. More of the same here. See if we can spot the queen for you guys. Got some queen cups over here. No big deal. They're all dry. Normal to have those. This brood nest is real wet. Lots of honey down in here. That's a real good sign. And that's a benefit to me because if they do make a harvestable honey crop, they're not going to have any boxes above them to feed on. And from what I've seen already, there's plenty of honey down in here to last them until I can get some feed on them. Mostly honey and pollen on that one. Check out the drone comb. There's the queen. Black Carniolan. I see some eggs in there, so she's laying up drones. A bunch of drone larvae over here. And then the last frame should be honey, if I was guessing. Yep, honey and a little bit of pollen. So they are looking good.
Dripping honey.
Yep.
least we got that one cleaned up. Honey, you dropped.
Yep.
It's looking good, huh?
So that one was looking good. Let's see if we can find one that's not as good. Show y'all both ends of the spectrum. So I don't know if I can find a real bad one, but pop the lid on this one. There's not many bees up here, so we're going to see what it looks like. They probably just don't have quite the population. There is bees in the super right here. Not quite as many. And there's definitely some weight to that frame. And they've got some nectar in there. Bees are only covering maybe 3 frames. And there were none in the foundation box. Just a little bit of weight in there. See how the queen's looking. Brood box is heavy. There's the population. I think they've definitely got some honey stored down in here with the weight of that box. Look at them cappings, got a yellow tinge to them. A bunch of honey over there with some burr comb.
Is the sunflower honey?
Yeah. Full frame of young brood. Same there. Sealed brood. Sealed brood. Plenty of honey down in here as well. There's the queen. She's not dark. She may not be a Carniolan. Let's see what the drone cone looks like. Looks like they're building it out. One side's full of nectar, and the other side's being built. So they're looking good as well. Don't know how much honey they'll make because sunflowers are pretty short-lived. But we'll take what they give us. Now I imagine they're going to start pouring back in here now that we got their hive back together. So there's kind of a look at a hive with a good strong population and one with a little less. They're both doing the same thing, just one's a little behind the other one. To give y'all a little backstory on this group right here, the spot I had them at for wildflowers, right after I transferred them, turned out to be very short-lived, and by the time I got around to them to move them, this whole yard was about to starve to death. They were all completely void of honey. The bees were actually real lethargic, wasn't moving around much, and I had 3 that had actually starved to death already. These 2, and then that one. So I got nukes to replace them, and within a week, I gave them everybody a shot of about 4 gallons of feed, because I got 2-gallon feeders in there, so 2 rounds. Pepped them up right quick and filled that brood nest up pretty good, and then put them out here on the sunflowers, see what they'd do. Caught them just in the nick of time. That could have been a real bad deal. But I got 48 colonies right here in this spot. And then right down the road, I moved in 24 more, so I got 72 colonies on this field of 600 acres of sunflowers. Probably way understocked, but it's my first time doing them, so I wanted to see what happened first. And I don't want to give up trying for cotton blossom honey, because people really like it. As do I. I gotta have my coffee sweetener. What do y'all think of them wind turbines? Has everybody seen them? They're getting pretty prolific here in the Panhandle. Lots of wind. Well, that's going to do it for the sunflower update. Y'all stay tuned. There might be some cotton updates, and hopefully we'll be pulling honey off these sunflower bees, so we'll catch y'all on the next one.